What's happening? Happy Friday, as they say. Kanye's in now, everyone's in now. Alright. What's happening, everybody? Right there, what's going on, player? What's happening? It's going to be a mad one tonight. We have a West Side entrepreneur tonight from St Albans on the show. My man Mark from Saintside. Can everyone hear? Hopefully they can. I'm your host, Os Flair, the man. Welcome to Isshoes 15. 15 shows, you know what I'm saying? 15 shows. So he's going to join in at around about 15 minutes. Something like that, you know what I mean? Kyle, what's happening, man? Dubs, Cam 1, Mayo, who else is here? Kanye, Fast Weight, Duke, of course, Willie Jack is in the house. Richardson Brand, or Brad Richardson. Dubs 83. Is that Dubs? Oh, Dubin. Bart's Bugs. What's happening, people? Aaron as A-Flex. Look out, eh? A-Flex. Same size join, Mark's join. He'll be joining us soon to talk. Well, I'm well. What's happening, man? I'm good, man. Big Dubs. What's going down? Hope you're well. Hope you're well, man. Thanks for watching. What's happening? There you go. He got me the best the other day. Alright. That's all. Raggers, the best. That's right. Yes, we have Saintside. Mark from Saintside. You know what I'm saying? An entrepreneur from the western suburbs, from St Albans, you know, which his original store is located in John Street. For people that do not know, they sell quality clothing, quality low-rider bicycle parts. I used to have one back in the days. I ended up giving it to my godson. It was massive for him. He was still in primary school, so he never really rode it. But mine was a beast. Had no handle grips on it. It was tough, man. Twisted handlebars, but square, bang, and then just boof. It was hectic. It was crazy metallic blue, sort of like a sky blue color, I guess. Before we get into it, still got a bit of time. On the last show with Jake Biz, thanks for everyone watching that. Now, I showed him a pair of shoes that I got off my man Cav, who was on one of my episodes. It's like in 2009, in 1997, Jordan wore Jordan 12s, the original ones. I had a pair of those. And he wore them in the game, and the famous flu game, where in Game 5 he scored 38 points. I showed these to Jake Biz. He'd never seen these. These are like a retro of that, and I'll show it properly now. See how it says 97, it's got a sick face, and the 38 for the 38 points. Now, my man had, the suede on these is amazing. My man had these dead stocked since 2009, and he only wore them 3 times because they were too big for him, you know what I mean? And he likes dead stocking. As you've seen on the show, he's got some dead stock shoes. I put them on, and obviously the evolution of dead stocking shoes. They come apart, the sole come apart in a few places. This one I sort of done alright, like I couldn't wait, but you know what I mean? So I glued them, and I had a bit of a rip here, right? But you know, this is from 2009. Like it's an amazing shoe. As you can see, it's got the 97 and then 38 points with the sick. Now they're called flu games. I knew nothing about them, that they were for that. I sent a photo to my man Marine. This is the one I fluffed. As you can see, I fluffed the suede hard, and it's a shit glue job. But that's only because I glued them once and it come out mad. But me being impatient, hi from Padlock and Chris, what's happening? What's going on, players? I was impatient. I wanted to wear them, so of course I wore them on a hot day, and they're glued, come apart again. And I went home that night, and instead of putting a pin, I forgot to put a pin down the tip of the glue. What's happening, man? The tip of the glue. So when I went to squeeze, I'm thinking, fuck, I'm just not coming out, And I was sweating. I was trying to fuck it up. It was hot, and all of a sudden it popped, and it went flying everywhere. All over the suede, as you can see, it's a bit of a hectic job. I'll pull out the thing, but when they first come apart, my man said, but when I sent a photo originally when I got them, I sent them to my man, my Marine, and he told me, he goes, oh, they're 2009 flu games, and he sent me a photo, StockX. Now, the last pair on the StockX photo sold for $708 American. So I sent a photo to my mate Cav, and I said, look, man, I don't know if I want to take this, like, they're worth heaps of money, And he goes, I know they're worth heaps of money, but I know you'll wear them and you'll appreciate it, And I was wrapped. I was like, fuck, what a cool cunt, you know what I mean? And I did. And even though the suede's fucked up and I fucked it, people will be like, oh, man, how could you do that to such an iconic shoe? And it's like Marine was even saying, he goes, you paid $75 for a shoe that's, Australian dollars is like equivalent, fuck knows, I don't know, 708, I'm shit at maths, in American money, who knows. It's over $1,000, I think. And, you know what, I don't care, because Cav's right, and Marine's right. I love this shoe. I wore this shoe to work on Monday. You know what I mean? And and he said, he goes, a lot of people wouldn't even get a chance to touch this shoe, and you've got your own pair of the shoes, and I'm going to do what they were made for, and I'm going to wear the fuck out of them. You know what I mean? I don't even care if the suede's ripped. That's what happens when shoes are dead stock. And Cav felt bad, and I said, what are you feeling bad for? You don't feel bad, you know what I mean? Shoes are shoes, that's what happens to shoes. But, it's like the other day, I was sitting there watching the actual flu game on YouTube, wearing these, you know what I mean? And like I was saying to Jake Beers, Jordan 5 is my all-time favourite, but the Jordan 12 is the first Jordan I ever bought. I bought with my doll money, and I ended up 2 weeks later giving them to my friend Tony Nasher, which brings me to another story. The shoe that I gave him before I gave him the Jordan 12s was a basketball shoe. And I was talking with Marine, and he goes, I've got a book that's got every Nike re-tab, what's going on. It's got every Nike shoe made up until 2000. And I was like, man, he goes, I'll find it, and we'll look for the shoe. And I was like, hold on a sec, let's Google for you, So I Googled the shoes. And then I was looking, and then I Googled 90s basketball boots, and I found it. And it was called Nike Air Go WLP, right? But it was a flight shoe. It said flight on the side. I sent Marine a photo, and he goes, that was like when Hardaway was a rookie, that was the shoe he wore. You know what I mean? And then from there, evolutioned into the penny shoes, which evolutioned into the foam posits. And I was like, man, I don't even know. The only thing my cousin told me was, no one here's got it. He hasn't come out here. You're the only one with this shoe, And it brings me to this. When I did this to the shoes, I was like deliberating what I'm going to do. And so I threw the box out. It wasn't the right box anyway, not that I care, So I bought this, which is a cheap version of the drop boxes. As you can see, it's quite flimsy, and I had to stick it together. I had to put it together. I had to click them together. But you get these at Reject Shop, you know what I mean? Now, I'm not flexing at home, Who's going to see the shoe? This is just in the cupboard, you know what I mean? But for $8, it's pretty damn good, you know what I mean? For $8, And I recommend them to people, you know what I mean? I mean, if you want to buy them to flex when people come over and you show them your thing, then get the expensive ones, whatever. But me, I just don't want dust to get on these, you know what I mean? And a plastic bag's not enough, And another shoe I showed last week to Jake Biz was this. This is the 89 flight. And you can see the difference, how I was saying, to the flight legacies. It's got this down the bottom where the shoelaces are. You got the same boxes. There you go, see? And this one, the swoosh doesn't go all the way around. It stops, as you can see, you know. These are mad, these. I got these for 50, you know. What's happening, Adam? Everyone else, Eric, Jake Bakes, what's going on? Everyone else, Jez Boogie in the house, Wild Style, 67, my man Mental. Ah, Tad, my man. Box Cutter Pazzi. Is that the box cutter Pazzi? Like Vinny Paz? Isn't that his one? Wow, if it is, man, what's happening? Eric, what's going on, brother? What's going on? I'm well, man. I hope you're well. I hope you and your family well. This is tough. This is tough. It's got the elastic, and the difference is it's got the elastic on the inside too that connects to the tongue, which brings me to these. I cut the elastic on these ones. I don't know why, but they were too tight. My man Frankie's got these, but with the blue laces. My man, Liggy. How are you, brother? And kids in the misso. We're all good. My daughter and Deborah are sick. Annie's here. What's going on, Annie? You want to come say hi quickly? Everyone, she's got her hair rocking. She's in the room watching a fairy god. What are they called? Fairy odd parents cartoon. These are black ones, black suede.
Daddy, I wish I had my picture with me so I could show you.
Oh yeah. These are mad. Apparently they came with blue laces. Frankie's got them with blue laces. But these are cool, man. I got them off the same dude that got these off.
I look like Judy.
For the same price. You know, I love these. These are sick. Always wanted these. You know, I'm bringing the fresh back. Leon, what's happening, player? These are nuts. This is not. I can't. Shoes killer. You know what I'm saying? The shoes killer. Just wait, and if you want, Mark, you can join in now if you want. The 6 dudes. Anyone buy a new pair of runners? Let's just type in that below. Yeah. Mad. Yeah, so if you want to join in, Mark, request up. We'll get in. 6 dudes. Yes, let's get it. Oh, did I press next effects? Alright. What's this? Yeah, I got Nicolo Barrage. Mad. Can you send me a photo of that? Hey.
Hey, what's going on, Hospa?
How are you, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you been?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Just finished work. How are you, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Are you at the shop?
No, I'm at home now. Just sitting on the couch, man. I had time to. I was going to do this at the shop originally.
Yeah, well, I was going to come too, you know, but I thought it would be more comfortable if you're just at home chilling. Then you can show if you forget. Yeah, then you don't have to lug shit with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I actually had to pull some shit out of storage for this anyway, bro. So it made no difference, man. I ended up pulling a couple of pairs to show you. You tripped me out when you said that the 5s are your favorite pair, and then the 12s were the first you bought, because that's exactly the same for me, man.
Bullshit, swear to God.
Yeah, swear. The 5s, the reflective tongue is the one, but I didn't grow up with too much money. The old lady had to bust her balls to get me a pair of 12s, man.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then that was the first one.
Yeah.
Taxis.
Yeah. Oh, did you get the taxi ones, huh?
Hold on, let me get this one. Can you see me? Is that all right there?
Of course. Yeah.
All right. Do that. Yeah, all right. Let's get into it. Done.
Now, for all my viewers that don't know who you are, introduce yourself and what you do for a living.
My name is Mark. I've got a small store in the western suburbs. It's got a brand behind it called Saintside, which we called it after the location of the area. So St Albans on the west side of Melbourne. we just took those two words, we smashed it together, and we're just hanging out, and it started to become something. Started to pay some bills. So now it's 11 years now, and I've been doing it. And it's a bike shop brand. It's got, you know, other things. We make clothes, we do homewares, whatever the fuck we feel like doing. To be honest, if we want to make something with people, we put it together. We try to figure out how to put it together. None of us come from the right backgrounds. It's just a matter of how the fuck do we do it, and then trying to do it. You know?
Yeah, get it on. Yeah, that's mad. What What? Yeah, I used to have a low. I used to. What got me into it?
I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. It was
So you would have gone
movies
back,
and that, and then I started racking magazines from Alternagate.
Yeah.
Like these big, thick ones, you know. They had two. The lowrider mag with the head.
Yeah.
And the hat, you know, that symbol of the head and the hat and the glasses.
Yeah.
And then the other low-riding magazine, like it was fat as, like it was like a Cosmopolitan, but for low-lows.
Oh, the styling. I've got a bunch of them too, man. The styling, that stuff is mad.
Yeah.
Good reference points, man.
What made you start thinking to yourself, hold on, maybe I'm going to start doing this? Like, was it the first bike parts just you were doing?
Yeah, a bit of everything. I started to do the bikes when I was 18, 19, right? So early 2000, just playing around. My brother's, I'm 37 now, my brother's 48, 49. So his Melvin Star from the 70s was a hand-me-down, yeah? So I rode that as a kid a little bit. His BMX was a hand-me-down, his racer was a hand-me-down. But when I got into cars and you start looking at the news agency, you got all the different mags, you start flipping through them. I realized I can turn that frame that I had there into a lowrider. So I ended up, and that's back in the day, the Locos, that's where you probably went for parts back in the day too, Loco lowriders.
Yes.
In Johnson Street, Brunswick Street originally, then we moved to Johnson Street. And we got some parts from there, we got some parts around the traps, tried to get some stuff from the US, did the bikes. A couple of us did a couple of bikes, and then we ended up buying a bunch of bikes from Kmart, the Bratz bikes. They ended up liquidating them, discounting them heavy. So we took some of those, we repainted them, we flipped them, we made some money, and then by that stage, I already started another t-shirt brand. I had a brand called X, which is wrong. You know, like Nike's a swoosh?
Yeah.
Right? But it's a check, yeah? It's a tick.
Yes.
So we look at it like what's right. It's the correct, you know? So I did a brand which is the opposite. I wanted to do opposite of Nike and just make an X. And then that was all right. It was a bit of a creative outlet to make tees and put that out there in a couple of stores in Oz. But then Locos was selling up mid 2000s, and went past, had a quick chat to Paulie. We passed on it. He sold it to another dude, and then that dude ended up going out of business. And that was when I was like, fuck, like where do we go for parts now? You know, so we kind of just stepped into that. Natural, like almost a crossover. He was going out of business. We're like, fuck, what are we going to do if we went past him? So we started. I already had another brand, but then we started to sell. Like when we put the space in St Albans, that was a mix. That was like I had my brand. A couple of the homies had their brands and small projects that they were starting. That was doing jewelry and canvas art. She was doing leopard print paintings. Stuff. It was ill, but it was like a co-op space. Now it's a thing. Yeah, co-op space. You can go and rent desks in Brunswick and West Footscray for $80 a week or whatever.
Yeah.
But back then we just did it because we had a little bit of room and everybody could come together and share hands, you know? Share resources. Yeah. And then it became a thing. We called it Saintside. And then, all right, fuck it, we'll just stick with the bikes and the t-shirts, pretty much just t-shirts. And then we grew from there. But the thing is that when we first opened up, we were doing anything vintage, man. We were doing prams, we were doing scooters, arcade machines, penny machines.
Yeah, man.
You know, like we restored a couple of those. I remember there was a dude who wanted a fridge, but it's not uncommon now to do anything. Like Rick's Restorations on TV, 7 May. Yeah. Dudes are bringing everything back to life. Everything from vintage is sick. It's ill now. You can't get your hands on it. You might as well spend some money and make it mad, right? Yeah,
that's right.
And that's kind of what started it off, really.
And congratulations on the last massive show that you moved to locations.
Yeah.
Man, when I rocked up there with Annie, like I was so proud of you. I was like, wow, that's sick. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, people everywhere. I
was hella nervous, man. Like, I've only started doing even this house. Like, I wouldn't have done this 2-3 years ago. I've just started to get used to looking at myself on this sort of stuff. You know, I hated it. I was always low key behind the scenes, man. Even when I did the emceeing at the events, I fucking hated it the first few times. I had to jump on the mic. I was like, oh my God, I've got to communicate with these hundreds of people. But now it feels like it's
easier now, yeah.
Easier, yeah. And then I was so super nervous about moving it because John Street had a mad vibe. It was in the street. We closed it off.
Right.
Council supportive. You're standing on the road. You're standing on the street.
Yeah.
It doesn't get much more street than standing in the middle of the
No,
street.
that's right. In the court, yeah. It was the best yeah. But like...
And then to move it, I was nervous, but it worked out good. You had a good time. It looked like people embraced it, you know?
Mate, they were loving it. We were walking around, people are loving it, man. It was so good. And at the end of the day, the last one I remember the John Street one, like the capacity of people, how it was there. Like you could see on people's faces at the new one, the one that just went past in Greg Gully and that. They were like pumped, because like, oh, now I can go all the way over there, and there's something else happening, and then there's something else happening here, you know.
Yeah, fantastic,
man.
Yeah, I'm glad it's there. And that came out natural too. You know, we didn't plan to make a show. We didn't plan to make a big show or anything. It was just we were selling parts. People were doing up bikes, and then we couldn't see the finished bikes. People would send an MMS, and you see it on a little picture. Oh, you know, how are we going to bring these bikes together? How are we going to see it? We sell the parts. We see their homies, their friends. So then the first few were just barbecues, man. We paid for meat and bread and sauce, and if you got bikes bringing back past the shop, by like the second or the third, it was mayhem. You know, you got all these people coming back. Low riders want to get in, and classic cars want to come and park up. And then, you know, I think it was the fourth one. That's when we were sort of getting discussed with the council about public nuisance issues, how people couldn't get out of their driveways and you know, big commotions. So we had to do it proper. And that's when I think from number 5 we started to do it proper. Or number 4, close the street, you know, get the permits.
Close it off.
Everybody know. Otherwise, it doesn't happen, you know.
You
got to do everything the right way. But I'm glad it's grown. I'm glad people embrace the new location. There's more stuff to do, more room, easier to park. You didn't have to stress out about leaving your car 3-4 blocks away. Like
When did you how long did you have the St Albans store before you opened the city store?
Not even 2 years. So it was just a good vibe, man. Like rolling around in different groups and different networks, sneaker community, hip hop community, car community. I was fortunate that when we called it Saneside, people, for some reason, even now, people like the name. It just, some people think it's positive. Some people think it's the area. Some people think it's the St Kilda Football Club supporters uniform.
Anything, Saints, like gospel, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Church stuff. But people resonate with it. You know, I like it. Phonetically, it sounds good. You know, from a design perspective, it does. Yeah. But from a design perspective, 5 letters, 4 letters. 5 letters, 4 letters. It's hard to play with. So every now and then we take the space out and make it 9 and do things like that. So from a design perspective, it's not balanced, but it sounds good and it's honest. You know, we called it Saintside because of where it was. We didn't think it was a cool name. We didn't scratch our heads and say, how do we come up with it? You know, like it's got to represent something.
It's like, this is the side, St Albans side.
Yeah, that's it. And it was because Google Maps in 2008, 2009, that didn't work like now. Google Maps, it was choppy back then. When you told people, all right, we're in St Albans, they would say, where is it? Dudes from north, east wouldn't know where St Albans was. So west side, St Albans, west side, St Albans, west side. After saying that for 2 months, it just came out. It just fucking came out, you know. But I'm glad that people like the name, that they're still resonating with it. It's pretty surreal to be here after 11 years still, man, because most of the stuff doesn't last. 2 years, 3 years tops, you know.
Exactly.
We opened the city store 1 year in. So after that first year, we gained a bit of buzz. The networks that I was already involved in or hanging out in, you know, they came and fortunate to support, buy some t-shirts, buy some product, follow us if we do some stuff. And it makes you, at the start, it's not about money. It's never about money at the start. It's just because you like doing it, you know?
Yes.
And when people buy something, it's just you get gas from you're motivated, you know? You can't make it. You're not going to retire off one or two tees, but if you do it and you sell them, you might make more after that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, fucking oath, man. Now on the designing, I remember once when I was. Oh, first of all, as well, thank you for selling my CDs in your store. It was crazy because you know we have a mutual friend, and when the CD came out, he always kept on telling me, because I'd never gone there yet. You know, he always
Yeah, oh,
tell me,
yeah.
he used to tell me, bro, you got to go, and then something was always happening, and I couldn't go. He goes, you got to go, man. You know,
Yeah.
and then he goes, man, give me a CD. He goes, I'll even take it there. He goes, but you got to come with me. You know what I mean? And I was like, all right, I'll go one day. And then I went to that first time, and he wasn't there yet. And Tiska introduced me to you, you know. And then from there, you know, it was like, and that's when I was wrapped at that event in John Street. Like the first time I went, I was pumped. I bought a hat, I think. Or don't wait, that was the second time. I can't remember. But on your designing.
Yeah.
Is it just mainly you doing the designs, or have you got like look out?
Sometimes me. The boys will do it if I come up with an idea. We try and we've done a lot of logo flips. I like bringing old brands that aren't around anymore, or I'll flip them into Saintside just because it's our brand name, but at the same time it's a throwback or you're honoring something. You know, like even brands that are around today. Their logos from the 80s and 90s were way iller than today.
Yeah, than now. Yeah, like the embroidered one that you brought out just not long ago.
Yeah. There's a couple of good ones, man. And like I like the Gatorade one we did. Remember how big Gatorade was because of Jordan back in the 90s?
Yeah.
And it had the lightning bolt, and it had the triangle and the green and the orange, and it was just flat colors, man. Just a good color blocking. Yeah. Now it's a G, and it looks like a spaceship, and it's got curves and chrome. Yeah. It's modern. It's more modern, and you know, I understand what they're doing, but I look at the 90s one, I'm like, mate, the memories.
10 times better.
Oh, yeah, man. 10 times better. That's why sometimes, look how old the Nike swoosh is. They haven't changed it. They haven't minimized it. They haven't done nothing. Formula One just changed their logo after, I think they've changed 3 times in 40 years or something. You know, and that's not much when you look at the span of that 40 years. That's 3 generations pretty much. That's a grandfather and a father taking his son, and then his kid has kids. And then before you know it, you got 3 generations looking at their own logo each time, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a bit of a trip, but we try and design what we can. The boys will do stuff, I'll do stuff. If they come up with a good idea, I try and make it honest and make sure that the designs are relative. If they're 90s, or if they're from the communities that we're involved in, car culture, hip hop, whatever, then they're okay. We don't do flips and stuff that doesn't relate to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know what we're talking about.
You always have like, so as you've releasing one style, I remember you were saying you've always got like
Plan B.
4 or 5 things ready.
Yeah.
Like always, like, so you never like start, oh shit, this is gonna sell out, and we haven't even come up with an idea yet. So you've always got on the, but like that. I remember one of my favorite ones was you said one of your boys made it, the keys with the Georgetown, looked like the Georgetown.
Yeah, Alex.
Boys jumper. I reckon that was sick,
Georgetown, yeah, that was really well done, man. Good colors, the blue, great logo, man.
I met him at the last market you did, I think. Oh no, the one before, he had a key stand. Yeah. And he had his shirts and that from there, and he was a cool dude.
Sunday too. We got the market coming up on Sunday as well. If you want to roll through, I'm pretty sure
on
this coming
Sunday.
Yeah,
I'll try and I'll see. Because the girls are sick, but I'll see how it go, man.
There's a car show in Altona as well, Hoss.
I heard
that is seasonal. Yeah. So that'll be good too, man. I think that's an action-packed Sunday. You got our market in the morning and then a car show in the afternoon. But there's a lot happening.
Mate, I've got heaps of shit I want to sell too. As you know, I'm started getting rid of a lot of high brands and stuff. It's all because of that video, man. When I bought those, finished my collection. Yeah. And I watched Come Fly With Me, man. And I remember we were talking about it at the class. Yeah. The soundtrack. I was sitting there, man, and just all this shit was flowing through my head and my whole life, and then I was just like,
good memories,
man. Out, like, you know what I mean? Like, I never really wanted that, but all I ever wanted was like shit like this, you know what I mean? And then I could get it, and then like I started, and then I was just like, fuck, I'm selling all that, you know what I mean? And like, I've got some mad pickups, which brings us on to the main point at hand.
Yeah, right.
Shoes.
That's it. Like, I'm holding.
What was the shoe for you as a kid?
The 5. Oh man, well,
the 5. Yeah.
Everyone's got the Jordan story. I've got multiple Jordan stories. Everyone's got that one story, you know. The one for me was there's this guy around the corner, Chris. They used to skate bricks. I say this all the time to to friends that always ask me why the Jordan 5. But they used to skate bricks, man. And that tongue, the fat tongue, the reflection, it was mad. It was nothing like it at the time, right? But the way I grew up, my mum worked, my old man, my brother didn't work. They were doing things, and that's where I learned a bit of the entrepreneurial stuff. But it's not like when we had money, it came once in a blue moon, you know? It's not like my regular friends that both parents worked or they had, you know, stability. And so from the 5 to the 12, that's 7 years of not getting Jordan. Think about it, right?
Yeah.
So I remember there was on Main Road, there was a sports store next to Safeway. And this was the first Nike that I owned. Before that, it was Speeder, Theodora.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of
all
course.
of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But the Airbase 2, this is a retro that Nike did a few years back and hit the outlets. I got it for like $60, but it was the first one, and it was mad. The colors are sick, man. You got the pink there and the purple, black swoosh, and then they've got like a nylon with the suede. It's mad.
Yeah,
but the original one's
like
got Airbase 2 on the side, and the retro doesn't have that. Retro also, they aged. You know how Nike sometimes ages the midsole?
Yes.
They did it on this. I wasn't a fan of it, but I bought it because it was mad memories. Like, that was the first one. I remember that was the first one. Went to school, and at least you joined that Nike gang. The people that had Nike at that stage, you weren't getting found for wearing filler or anything else, because they were all mad. They were all sick sneakers, Reebok, filler, Adidas. But if you had Nike, that was it, right? Nike was the top of the line, man. Yeah. And then he graduated on from there. Like, I ended up, I got some stuff here to pull out to talk about the timeline. That Airbase 2, I ended up getting a pair of B-dubs.
Yeah, sick.
Big window. I ended up getting two of these as a youngin', man. I went from the cool greys, they were all grey, and then I ended up getting a black pair. And I think I had the white too, but everyone had Persians, and there was one, the blue on it. They were big at the time, man.
Yeah, they were massive. And then the green ones, the greens with the black. I had those.
Yeah. They were big. See, this is the thing. At that point in life, there was a fork in the road. You hang out more at the billiard joints and the parlors and playing pennies, or do you hang out at the basketball courts and try and, you know, to do something after school for a few hours, you know? So that's when I started to look at Jordans more and more, because I was playing more basketball, you know? And it became natural after that. You start looking at Jordans more. By the 5 was already mad from a design perspective. It didn't take much for anybody to look at a 5 and go, that's sick. You know, that's just blowing everything else out of the water.
It's the best shoe,
I've got OGs of that one. That's an OG.
Sick.
Yeah, so that's whenever they came out, 1990 or whatever it was, with the Nike Air on the back. But these are crumbling. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Like, you touch them and they crumble, man.
Oh, of course. But
I've still got pairs. I still buy the retros when they come out. This is a good 5 that I got, which is the Paris Saint-Germain one.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, they're beautiful, man. Look at that. They got the Paris under the webbing there.
Yeah, it looks tough.
Yeah, 72. They got the Paris Saint-Germain on the back with the Jumpman. I like it when Jordan Brand does that stuff. They sponsor a whole team and they go all out, you know.
That's sick.
So this is nice because it's you remember, like, it was really white or black, back in the day.
Yes.
It was only white and black, the OG colors. They didn't like the Jordan 9. The 9 is when they started to do colors that were fashionable.
Yeah, I like that 9. When it first came out, I didn't like it, but then I was like, fuck, this
is hip hop. This is a hip hop shoe, man. Looks like a boot, military colors. Yeah. Dudes wearing army pants, big army jackets with them on.
Yeah. And he didn't even play in those, which is the funniest thing. He played basketball, baseball.
Yeah, during that time, that's right. This is the first sneaker that they did without Bulls colors, or All-Star Weekend colorways. But I like it when they do collabs, like that. Not only the collabs, but they keep them clean, like OG colorways, you know, and they just sort of put some detail in. That's sick.
Yeah, fucking right. They're tough.
Yeah. And then the 12, but the 12 was the one, the taxi.
Yeah,
that was the one. My old lady bought me this. This is when I realized I was starting to collect, because this came out in 96, right?
Yeah.
95, 96, somewhere there. 97. Sorry, 97. 96 was the 11s. 97, right? This is when mum used to get me one pair of sneakers a year, bro, because we were fucking that broke.
Yeah, you get one per year.
One pair a year, man. One pair a year. I remember she bought me a pair many years back, and I went to school and we played kickball in it. It was like grade 3 or something, right? And I booted the shit out. I tore these sneakers to shreds, and I walked home in with nothing, pretty much like flopping on my. She's losing it. Oh, my parents gave me such a hiding. They were like, "What are you doing? One pair a year, and you go to school and ruin him in one day."
Yeah.
And then I started to look after him. But then when I got the Jordan, this one, I wanted this sneaker bad. And my lady got me this, which was really good. She worked her ass off for that. And that's when I started to realize that if you keep the pair you get clean from the previous year, you don't need to keep thrashing the new one, right?
No, yeah.
And you know, like as a
special
14-year-old,
occasions.
Yeah, special occasions, man. Saturdays, shopping centre, High Point.
Yeah, High Point. Yeah.
High Point.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to go home and brush them every time you wear them, or you're going out to the movies on Saturday. You got to get the white back because they're all scuffed up. So then I realized, you know, 97, I'm 15, 14. I realized if I start looking after the previous ones, you can start wearing those every day, and you keep the good ones for special occasions. That's mad.
Yeah. See, I didn't get mine until like, I think they were like 2 or 3 years old, and the Sports Co. In my area,
Sports Co had
they
everything.
must have had dead stock of them.
Wow.
And I just walked past, bro. I walked past, and I just seen in the corner of my eye, and I was just like, what the fuck? I ran in there, $90. I paid, man.
$90.
Like my first, yeah. I was like, I even asked my sister how do you insure stuff. She's like, what are you talking about? I go, I want to insure my Jordans. And she goes, you're a dickhead, man. She goes, they're fucking basketball shoes.
Special occasion.
I was that excited, you know. And 2 weeks later, I gave them to my mate to play basketball in, you know.
That's mad. That's a good story,
man. Couldn't afford them.
Yeah, that's a great story, man. Yeah. You know, it just trips me out. When you said the 5 and the 12, I'm like, Hoss is style, and Hoss has got great decisions. Hoss knows what's going on. 5 and 12.
Love them, man. They're tough. I love the 2s as well. I love the 3s and 4s. Like they're all mad, you know.
I'll show you something. This is another reason. You remember Outlet Collingwood? Rest in peace, the Nike Outlet in Collingwood. Look at this, right? This is another reason why I started to collect. I was playing basketball. By this stage, I was playing basketball. I was not bad. After that, I lost my way for a few years. But that's a pair of 94 ones, right? The retro. Yeah. $30. I remember going there. This was a VIP sale, and I ended up buying a retro, right? That's the 94.
Look at that.
Yeah, so that's the 94. I paid $30, and then the 2s came. The 2s came the following year. Hit the outlets again. I bought the 2s, and I've sold many sneakers, bro. Like I buy and sell, but I always kept that because I bought a couple of pairs of these at $30, and I remember I used to wear this with I tried to do the matching tracksuit. You know, he used to always do matching tracksuits with the zip. I used to get whatever matching tracksuits I can get that were black or red. Yeah, I'm trying to wear it with that, so I felt like I was one gold chain.
It's
black and red, you know, like I'm warming up, and that was $30, man. That's dreaming these days. Like the
no way you're gonna get you can't get
$30 from the outlet. Look how ill the box was, you know.
That's sick.
I had a retro, but then that's when I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna start stockpiling. I didn't have crazy money or anything, but at least at that stage, you got your beaters, you got your dailies, you got your school shoes, you got 3 or 4 pairs of sneakers for the weekend, and you're in your late teens. You're feeling yourself a bit more. You understand a bit more of your own style and everything, and that's when it carries on. And the one is everything. The one changed the game.
Yes. Well, before the one came out, Nike was like, as far as basketball sneakers in the States or whatever, in the NBA, Nike was like the most lowest. Like they had a lot of players wearing them, but it was like the lowest. And all the other Converse and all the other brands were like Avia and all those. They were like the high, you know. And then Jordan came out, and bang, the Jordan shoe just took over. Like, you know.
Biggest bet, Phil Knight, the G man, owner of Nike, put out all his eggs in one basket, man. It paid off massive. Huge. I got a 5-foot image of him. I'll show you later. Just a big picture of Phil Knight biting an air bubble like this. It's sick.
Oh, yeah.
Right, man. Yeah, because the thing about Nike, even as big as we look at it now as a company, bro, that started from one dude in his bedroom. Yeah, like it's the same thing. It's like me and you having an idea now, and in 20 years down the line or 30 years, it becomes public, and then it's worldwide. It's 50,000 employees. It still started from one person's head, you know. I want to do this.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Crazy to think about, because you look at what happens is companies transfer over, right? They become less human as they become bigger. They end up being a machine, and we forget that one dude at the start who busted his balls. One.
Doing
Henry
it,
Ford,
yeah.
you know, Walt Disney, you know,
Yeah.
Kanye West, you know, all of these dudes that are like trying to make these companies massive. But Jordan, Phil Knight, put all these eggs, man, bang. You're lucky he got Jordan. Imagine if Jordan said no. There's articles about that stuff. Sneaker Freak did an article. What if Jordan said no, you know? But then that's why I've got so much respect for the one now. So that's an 85 Jordan 1. That's 1985, size 13. I got the shoe tree there, the Jumpman that I got that from another. It's pretty sick, man. I got that from another sneaker when they were doing bin packs, BIM packs, which are like scraps colorways. And they released them with some flash stuff, man. But I ended up buying a couple of those, flipping them, and I kept the shoe trees because the shoe trees are a set of wood, bro. They're sick.
Yeah, sick.
But that's an 85 Jordan 1. It's a big beat, but I like collecting.
But you can still wear those.
Oh yeah,
That's
ones
the
will
thing.
last forever. Yeah, forever.
Yes.
It's got the sewn sole and everything. The top of the leather's showing a bit of weathering now after how many years.
Of course.
Years. But that's a 85. You had the 94. That's a recent one. You know, so if I hold everything side by side now, because I'm anal like that, I want to make sure. Let's see how much this shit's changed.
Yes.
I can touch it.
You can tell.
Yeah, 100%. I don't have to. You can all of these stuff that I got, hundreds of mags and shit. I can look through and compare, but it's not the same as holding this
in your
and this.
hand.
You know what I mean? 85. I got the numbers in there. This is 94. This is 2000 and whatever, 2017 or something when it came out. So at least that way, when I do it, 2013, that one is. You know, so at least when I look at them, I hold them all, I can see how much is different, how much to last. I've learned a lot about product and sneakers and stuff from buying it. You know, you can't just look at it online and read articles. You got to buy it and be involved and wear them, and then you start realizing these are shit. They're uncomfortable. These blow out. This air bubble goes cloudy. This happens. This does that.
Yeah.
Use it. You know.
The cloudy air bubbles are. My mate showed me. I've still talked about it before, and you get the hairdryer, bro.
Oh really?
And it clears them up. And someone bought a pair of Para 95s. I can't remember who it was, and the bubbles were cloudy at the front. And I go hit them lightly. You got to wait a bit, but once it starts the heating up, it clears your air bubbles. Yeah, I swear to God, right? My mate Leon told me that. Showed some video, right? And he goes, and then this other dude commented, you know, and he's like, oh no, you'll ruin the midsole on them or stuff, something like that. And I bought a pair off Rob, you know. So then I sent him a video of me doing it to my own shoe, and he was like, oh no, I'm not trying to, you know, say nothing. I go, no, I'm not saying you were. I go, but I'm just showing you, like, you know, this is like $1,000 shoe, like, and I don't give a like it's a shoe, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like you wear it, you know, and
most of the time, if it hits a good number now, I'm trying to flip it. I don't want to hold on to it.
Yeah.
I'll wear it. But if it starts hitting like, you know, $1,000 or whatever, it's like, well, I'd rather just pay some bills with the $1,000 now, man. That's why, like, at one stage I tried and hover 150, 200 pair at any one time. But as you get older, you sell some off, you keep some of them, some are meaningful. Like a Beat Jordan 1's not really worth much to many people, but at least you look at it and go, it is a Beat Jordan 1, you know, OG Jordan 1. Yeah.
I almost sold them for 500, and because my car was fucked up and that, and then this guy was like, he goes, that looks like the nipple on the sole. Have you worn them? And I go, yeah, I've worn them, you know. And it was funny. Rob texts me and he goes, I better be getting a cut out of that. I'm like, bro, I would have gave you half. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, of course he gave me, because when he sold them to me, he didn't even know. Back then, they were going for 500. And then, and then I sent him a photo a month later. It was like $990 something or whatever, you know. Someone was trying to sell them, and I was like, you know. And I'm not selling them, you know. I'll get them. I wear them, man. I love wearing them.
At least that way you break necks. At this stage, people look at it, they're like, fuck, he's wearing them, you know. Most people were clued on now. That's what the guy from Keys,
Keys dude, he goes, that's what he said. He goes, fuck. He goes, man, you got the Paras on. And I go, yeah, like that, you know. And he goes, man, I sold my pair. He goes, I was scared, you know, the midsole was going to like fucked up. And then I took mine off and I gave it to him to hold it. I go, these are like mint, man. Like, I go, but I always wear them. That's the thing with me.
That's
There's
the
a guy
difference. That's
named
the difference.
Jumpman Bostic,
Yeah.
and he's from Detroit, but he's like a Jordan. All he collects is Jordans, right? This old dude, you know. And even he says that he goes, I try to wear as much as I can around the house, even if you're
That's
just
what I
walking
do.
around the
Yeah,
house,
same thing. If I'm gonna
because
keep it,
it bends them, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And it
picks
keeps
up
like,
the
you
glue.
know, like it'll crack less the shoe, and
Oh, he's
fucking,
on it. He's on the
especially
money.
with Air Max part, you know, old ones, they're like, it depends what era. It's like, man, if you don't regularly bend the shoe or whatever, it's gonna crack and it's gonna fall
100%.
apart, you know?
Bro,
Yeah.
100%. I tell people all the time, even if you're just watching TV, if you got a pair of sneakers that you want to keep, just throw them on like moccasins, bro. Just put your feet up, watch a movie. At least your feet will heat up the sneaker, heat up the glue. This is weird to talk about, but it's part of it now, man. Because sneakers come out every 5-6 years because they're designed to last, even in storage, 5-6 years, 10 years tops. Tops, man. You're gonna pull something out that's dead stock after 10 years. You pray before you wear it that it's not going to crumble under your feet.
Yeah.
You know, better to just, you don't have to walk around the house. You don't have to walk anywhere. Just put them on, let your feet heat up the glue. Maybe go get a drink from the fridge every now and then. Like you said, it'll soften it up. It'll bend the glue the way you're going to walk anyway. And then in 5 years, 6 years, when no one knows you got them and you crack them out for a special event, you break everybody's necks.
Yeah.
And they'll last the night, you know, at least.
But then I'll show you these.
I'm going to show you these. These are solid ones. So these are Spizikes, which is a crazy design. At the start, I had a bit of a,
man.
yeah, I like the mashups. Some people don't like them. I like the
I love
Spizikes,
them.
Sub-Zeros. But I won those on the Sneaker Freaker comp. So they're signed by MJ, man. They were legit. They were proper legit. That was mad. I carried a life-size cardboard cutout of Jordan around the city for a day. And my missus was snapping photos of us at Starbucks and catching the tram and buying a ticket and shopping. And I'm walking around with this 6'7" fucking cardboard cutout, and I sent that in. I won them. This is meaningful to me because it's Jordan. You know, like at least I know that he's signed it. That's something. Again, Spizikes is not everyone's taste, but it's on there, and I love it.
I love it, man.
Oh, bro. Look, I got elephant print laces in there. Look at that, man.
Yeah, sick.
There's a lot of good stuff, man. I wish you could buy and keep it all, but sometimes, like we were saying just then, if they go up and they're worth selling, mate, there's no harm in it.
Yeah.
Some people don't like resellers, you know. At the same time, I don't think I've ever bought anything just to resell. But then, who knows when the market hits?
Yeah. I buy it to wear it. I buy it because I like. That's why I'm getting rid of as much as that designer stuff as I can, and then I'm just been getting the best deals off Facebook.
Marketplace, bro.
Man, like all these flights, like I paid $50 for these.
Yeah.
These flights.
Yeah, nuts.
Bro. You know, and
yeah. Oh, from Aaron. Is that the Aaron's ones? The flights? Shamim's?
Oh, the black ones.
Yeah, is that the one?
Hold on, yeah. Shouts to him too. Hold on.
Yeah, Aaron's a mad dude. At 2-0 attention, man. Oh, they're sick. I got some stuff ready for you. Yeah, they're mad. So you can wear that with anything, Hoss, man. Absolutely anything. Bro, black upper, white midsole, mad. They're still icy on the bottom too, man.
Bro, they're fucking the killer.
The Flight F is phenomenal, man. That's such a.
I wore these to the show.
Yeah, I remember. I commented on the logo, I think, at the show too.
yeah.
Oh, they're sick. They're mad, man. Everything. The apparel is mad. The logo's mad.
Yeah,
everything's
mad. Crazy.
Sick. When you break it down, look at Nike, man. They had Air Max range. They had Flight. They had Force. Then they had Air Jordan. Charles Barkley. Like even then you
his
had
birthday today.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit! Like legends, man. But everything. The whole thing's changed in a sense that back in the day it was a basketball team had one or two mad players. They got their signature shoes. They were the franchise dudes, and then everything revolved around them. And now it's almost like a level playing field. Shoes don't hit as hard as they used to. When a Charles Barkley came out, that was it in the window. You know, big posters, him punching on with Godzilla. Now it's not the same. They might put money into advertising and stuff, but it doesn't hit home.
No, it's different.
Kids aren't putting posters of their sneakers on their wall anymore. They're putting posters maybe of rappers, but now they're putting Supreme posters up on their wall and shit.
Yeah.
It's different time. But there's heaps, like you got like the prices of stuff, yeah. Like this is a New Balance 1500, the Provider with the beautiful blue.
Oh, that's sick.
And when Provider was in you know, I think I'm right in saying that Provider was Australia's first proper sneaker boutique, you know, and that was back in the day. They got the New Balance collaboration. They made a very limited amount of these, and then shit all in a 13. But it was a good time back then because you could, if you were in with the store, you didn't have to line up. You just said, "Look, man, here's the money. I'll pay. I'll come back later," you know. And then I ended up getting a 13. I got a couple of pairs. I resold one. I kept the 13, and then a few years ago, I needed money real quick. I ended up flipping the 13 for cheap as shit on eBay. I was fuming. And then a couple of the boys ended up finding a 13 from another dude, Jesse, because there's not many of these. I think the right number is 300 of these that were made, or maybe a little bit, maybe 600 and 300 in Australia. I'm not 100%. But the blue's mad. The blue's mad in this, man.
The suede looks grouse.
Oh, it's sick. I was in Japan when these were starting to get talked about in Japanese mags, and I ended up sending a photo back to Chris Provider. I'm like, yo, what's this? Because it's got Provider and it's got the New Balance underneath it. And I was in another country. It was the first time I've heard of it. And he's like, yeah, it's coming out. I go, dude, I'm putting this on the net. Like, it's public in Japan. And at the time, Sneaker Freaker Forum, you know, shout outs to the be all and end all of what I think was a dope community. The forum was mad. Like every time something came out, if there was information that leaked, it would hit the forum. It was either legit, people would check it, everyone would comment. I spent all day on that forum, man. As soon as I started an office job, bro, that's all I did. I was on that forum from 9 o'clock until 6, refreshing updates, commenting, all of that shit. And I ended up putting that on there, which was pretty special. A photo that I took when I was overseas, put on the forum. People started talking about it, which was dope. I ended up doing a few things on that forum. But without the forum, I wouldn't be... I think it was this, or it could have been the dunks I did it as well. The Melbourne dunks, which was another one that I put up first. Like things like that don't happen anymore now. Everything's Facebook. Forums aren't as they don't hit as hard as well. You don't build the community and the network where you might have to only meet up once a month, you know. But everybody's in contact every day, talking about what they love, you know.
Yeah.
Sneaker Freak, massively important part of it. Because I started, properly when I was starting work and getting a bit of money. That's when I started collecting properly. Like go out every weekend, buy a pair of sneakers. You know, put $1,000 away for the month, cop 4 or 5 pairs. That's another one. This is 2007. This is another one I wouldn't sell. So the New Balance I wouldn't sell. This I did 2007 when Nike first started the ID program. Right. So I had to go to Japan for that. I put at the time I had a Silvio X Drift, and that was my tag on the forum as well. But I tried to make him like, I don't know if they're still in here. I tried to do him a Gucci colorway, yeah? But at the time, the swatch was limited. So you only had like 6 materials. So just say I wanted a dark red, it might be on another swatch. So you have to pick these 6 colors, but there might be only white and black and red and a couple of whatever. So this was infrared from Jordan, the Jordan 6s. So I thought, I'll go with that, you know? Because these went with, there it is there. See that? I got the Gucci laces there, the knockoff bootleg Gucci laces. Bougie. Yeah, that one mad. So this I'll never sell. The New Balances I'll never sell again, you know. But the whole Nike ID process, you can do it online now. You can just go to the website. Back then it was you had to be there. You know, they gave you that. They gave you this card, bro. It was mental. You had to look, that was a concept, and then you get it in the mail a month later, you know. It was mad.
Fuck. How much did that cost you to actually go there for the day, like, you know, and do it? Yeah,
it was the process. I've still got everything, Hoss. I'm fucked like that. Look at that. So that's the Japanese receipt. But 178 yen is about $220 now. Mate. But they gave you a whole bunch of shit. They gave you stickers. They gave you the fucking receipt, you know. Yeah. But you had to be there. You had to be there. You had to go in. You work with a Nike designer. Now it's a lot easier with the internet, and you can see everything in real time. You make your own shoe. I'm going to make a Presto actually on the Nike ID. It's sick. It's so much fun. But stuff like that led us to make the Air Force One, which we did for the 10th birthday last year. You know, you get to play around a little bit with stuff.
Yes, that was sick, by the way.
Thanks, man. I should have put more white in the midsole, but I was happy with it.
Did you keep one for yourself?
No, I'm going to keep that one. Oh, the Air Force One? Yeah. I've got my 13 here. I want to crack that out, open in a sec. Actually, I've got it here. I'll show you. This was mad. So Damien from Bespoke put this together for us, which was mental. So that's a clean shoe, yeah? You wear it with anything. Black, white, midsole. Killer.
Best.
But with heaps of detail. So that's got the basketball. We cut the basketballs up.
Yeah.
So a basketball per pair.
Because it looks like the Spalding.
Yeah. That's right. We ripped the Spalding logo. It's got the little chopping and lock and tag there with the 10th anniversary. 1 of 10 there. There's the 2 shoes make up the SFFS, so Saintside Forever, Forever Saintside. Yeah. This was a cool shoe to do, man. We did the chopping and locking on the tongue. Yeah, it was mad.
Where else?
And then the inside had a little bit of a saying as well, you know.
Yeah, awesome.
This was a cool shoe, yeah. Heaps of little details, man. Saintside Forever. But this was nice. We dropped 10 pair. They sold. Very happy with that. But stuff like that, you know, it doesn't mean much to people outside of, you know, the circle.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's irrelevant. It's mad. We did it, and it's fucking sick. Yeah. That's another. This is a weird one, right? This is a sneaker freak.
Oh, I like that.
These are mad, bro. These are mad. They're Grid 9000s, I think they are. Hold on one sec. Yeah, Grid 9000s.
I love Sauconys, man.
So these came out 2012, right? And Woody did these. It's a weird one because it's got the full tongue that's like a wetsuit. It goes all the way around. It's mad sneaker. And Woody's the king of collabs in this country, man. Sneaker Freak has worked with all of them, right? Everybody except for Nike. He's done an Adidas, he's done a Lacoste, Saucony, Asics, heaps New Balance. He's done them all, right? When he did this, he wasn't going to make a 13. And I went to the office, I sussed him. And I go, dude, all right, put me down. Because he wasn't making 13s at that stage. He did a Puma collab. He did a New Balance, the Kangaroo, the Kangaroo collab, based on the Skippy. He made 3 or 4 shoes, but he wasn't making 13s yet. And I said, bro, you need to make this one in a 13.
Yeah.
He goes, they're already starting production. I need 5 if you want me to do it. I hit the forum. I go, look, I need 13 big footers. Give me 5 for another 4 people because I wanted these bad. These were mad. You know, they had his signature colorways there, the emerald and the brown.
Great.
They had the pattern on the toe box. It was sick. And then he ended up coming back and making 5 pair. And it was like a sample 13. Bro, the samples are 9s, 10s at best, you know. But and then they ended up making a special 5 pair. So this is another one. I've worn it once or twice, but I'll never sell it again. And it doesn't matter if it's worth, you know, nothing to anybody. But
no, exactly. But it's worth something to you, you know?
Yeah. I love it, man. That's the thing now. Most of this stuff is connection, Hoss, yeah? Like, you've got a story about it, and that's why it means something. You can get caught up in the hype, and anybody can sell a hot shoe. Anybody can wear a hot shoe and make it look good. Anybody can make money on a hot shoe, right? But when you take a shoe that no one's seen for 6 years, and you spin it, and then dudes go, fuck, I never thought about wearing it like that. Or I never even seen that colorway come out before because it's so rare. Like, bro, you wear a Flight now or a Force. Nobody's wearing Flights and Forces. No, nobody's wearing Flights.
I'm bringing fresh back, bro. I'm bringing the
You and Aaron Shamim. You and Aaron Shamim's another flight head. Bro, you two, Atuo, you two dudes are the only dudes I know that would rock the shit out of Flights and make it look mad that people will be like, fuck, there's more to Nike than just Off-White right now. You know what I'm saying?
Stuff. Yeah,
bro. And all that stuff, the colorways are mad. I know that they're releasing a lot of the trainers now in cool colorways and stuff like that. So that's good. It's one of those things that at least they've got the category, bro. They've got so many different designs. They just got to bang them out, man. And they've got so much heaters in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. That's why I'm getting rid of all that stuff. I'll just be like, I'm nearly running out of time. I might have to cut it short, but I want to show you this one. I got these off Rob, right? He sent me a message, and he goes, bro, these were at my mum's work. He goes, I got them, right?
Yeah. Oh, Raging Bulls? What?
The suede ones.
Oh, what are they?
The suede.
But did they come out by themselves, or did they come out in a pack?
I don't know if they come out in a pack.
I've never seen them with the red meshing, bro. They're mad.
Yeah.
They're crazy nice.
Like, and he paid, I can't remember. He asked his mum, he's like, they're 2017.
They're nuts, man.
But like they're hardly like, and it only came with one lace lock. So I took the white bit off, the clear bit, and I put the lace lock with the Flight.
Yeah, man.
The other lace locks hardly ever says Flight. It's only got the Jumpman, so that's why I put it.
They're mad, man.
How cool's that, man?
That's the 5 is the one, man. Holy shit.
Like, these
bro,
are
we smashed an hour. You've smashed an hour already. How easy is it to talk about sneakers, Hoss?
Yeah.
I'll tell you a quick story. Look at this, man. This is some rare shit. Before you boot me off, look at that. You see that? The Jordan Golf.
Sick.
Yeah. So this, at Kicks 101 a couple of years back, there was a dude named Gentry Humphreys who was the head of marketing, and he was showing people the 23 couple of sneakers coming out the next 12 months of product, whatever. And I was clowning at the back because I didn't have my glasses with me. I couldn't see any of the sneakers, and I was burning because it was only like 5 meters in front of me, but I couldn't see anything. And I'm like, yo, man, like throw them to the back, because we weren't allowed to take photos, nothing. And it was maybe 15, 20 people in that room. And he's like, all right, look, I'm gonna, big man, I'm gonna throw them to you. You make sure no one takes photos of them, and then we'll hand them back through the 3 or 4 rows in front of you. And then I've got to make sure everything comes back. I can't leak any of this stuff. And then he was bringing out, it was all about the 23, because the 23 was Jordan's franchise number, yeah? And he flicks over this, before he flicks it, he pulls up this shoe and it's got something in it. And he goes, oh, hey, catch this. And he throws this at me, right? Which is a Jordan golf ball.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he goes, you can keep it. I was offered to give it back. He goes, no, you can keep it. And then he was telling me this story about, so they don't sell these. They don't make these. This is only if you play golf with Jordan, right? So he happened to have one. And I don't know what the hell he was doing in his sneaker, but he was telling me that this is his own personal shit. So I've hardly seen this stuff, man. Like I got him to sign it, work for Jordan Brand, but it's a Nike product. It's a specifically Jordan Jumpman golf ball.
That's
apparently you can buy them, but it's one of those things where, bro, it's the story, right? Like even though I was there because of sneakers, I'm checking out sneakers. The dude works for a sneaker company, but I leave with something like this. It's mental.
It's mad.
Sneakers, everything to sneakers, man.
Yeah,
crazy.
Thanks that's the best, man. Nah, thank you so much for being on the show, man.
Anytime, man. I could talk about sneakers all day.
I'll catch you. Say hi to your lovely wife, and I'll catch you. I will. I'll catch you very soon, my brother.
I'll pass on your regards, bro. You too, man. Hopefully your Misso and the kid are getting better, feeling better. And then, Market Day this Sunday. If you want to come out, John Street, 10 till 2. Then there's that car show, that is seasonal in Altona. But then the last Market Day is on March. So that's the last one for the year. We've done 6. That'll be 6. So this Sunday and then last Sunday of March. And we'll see how we go. But you roll through anytime you want. No
worries, mate. Be back.
Thanks for that, man.
Be well. This is an awesome show.
Thanks,
later,
bro.
brother.
Appreciate it, man. Gotcha.
Later. All right, everyone. Sorry about that. Yeah, thank you for everyone watching. Big special shout out to Jason and Patrick. We call when we work together, we call each other's Latrick. 2 powers combined. So shouts to Muscat and Patty, and thank you everyone again for watching the show. I will show these again. Yo, buddy.
If I have a hamster, can I use this one?
The hamster might fly out the hole at the front, but
yeah, but
these are sick.
Hamsters are not that big.
These are mad.
They're not that small. They're huge.
Hamster? Oh yeah, they are pretty big. It won't get through that hole, but it'll probably bash the door down. Love you too, fellas. All right, thank you so much, everyone. Enjoy, have a safe weekend, and be well. What time is that?